We're back here on Triple I Radio, and well, Pittsburgh, while you might be counting down, waiting and wondering when Sidney Crosby's going to return, and today is that day, I have been counting down, waiting, and today is the day for her return from me. Lisa Ann here in studio Triple I Radio. She'll be at Blush all weekend long, 9th Street downtown. She'll be dancing. She is a must-go see. Not only just to see her, because look at her body, but you got to talk to her, because she's pretty awesome.
I throw everybody off a little bit with the sports talk. You know, it's calming because I can see when guys are like really nervous to talk to me. But then I go into it, and then they think, wow, this girl's really giving me some heavy sports talk right now.
They get embarrassed, but not in the way they thought they'd be embarrassed.
Exactly.
That's
and they're like,
happens.
maybe she knows more than I do.
I think you threw me all the first time I ever met you, and I was like, wow, she's like really into sports. You know, it's like, because normally you have to kind of mold a different conversation when we have some of the guests come in. But
I'm always excited when I meet another girl that's into sports, because then we just get really competitive and just talk and talk. So I went to the Knicks game the other night before I came here. Very sad.
Well,
Very sad.
Still been a good year for them.
I know, but don't the playoffs always make you like think, can't we just crush these people and get this done instead of having the extra games? The refs were horrible that night.
Oh, sure.
J.R. Smith was awful. But it was,
You're a typical sports analyst. The refs were horrible.
They were horrible. I can't believe they walked out of the arena alive. I said that, yes.
Well, are you allowed to talk about the sports career? Are we allowed to?
Well, you know, because I've been telling you for a long time. For 2 years, I've been working on this fantasy sports show. It's Sirius Fantasy Sports Channel, and I have finally got my own show, which will start in July. So now the studying begins. Fantasy sports is something I've learned a bit about, but I haven't participated in. But I have a lot of friends that do it, so they're all going to give me like little classes, and I'm making these little cue cards so I can learn all my rules and be studying when I'm at the airport.
Well, I'm assuming you're going to join some leagues, just obviously.
All leagues.
Wouldn't that be great? You're in a league with 11 other people, and probably 10 of them are just random dudes that work down the street from you. And you have no idea that behind the alias of a league, of a team name, is the wonderful adult film star of Lisa.
And I love the team names people pick, because I've read a couple great books on drafts and how they do the drafts.
Do like Nail and Palin. If you do something really random for yours,
It's something that's super random.
just do Nick Nail and Palin.
Just Nail and Palin.
Yeah.
I would be like, who's that?
Right.
Who's
well,
that?
Well, the odds are one of the other 11 guys are going to know the reference,
course.
and they're going to go, oh, and they're going to start talking about you.
And see, the good thing is you want to get in their head, because they'll think, oh, this girl's going to know nothing. So using that would put me out there in a way where they would think I was not really going to be a good fight. I'm going to be a good fight.
That's terrific. Well, now that you're kind of transitioning now into sports host, we can have you here more than just Blush appearances. We can have you on to talk fantasy sports.
And we have a mutual friend with wrestling.
Yes.
I just spoke to Paul yesterday while I was on my way to see Madden. He told me tell Madden. I said hi.
I haven't seen Paul since a hotel in St. Louis last summer, where he was quite entertaining, as you can imagine.
He's
Paul,
always entertaining.
Yeah. Very good. Well, let's talk about Blush in the adult film career, which you're here at Blush. Obviously, a treat for everybody to come out and see. But you also getting ready to work into some directing for new films.
I am, and so this is not my only Blush appearance this year. I'm booked back in November during another good sports weekend. There's a Steelers game which I will be going to.
And it's my birthday month.
Is it?
Woo.
When's your birthday?
1122.
Oh, 1122.
Easy to remember.
Good date, very easy. But yes, I'm going to start directing for Jules Jordan Video this month. 5-day shoots, 5 scenes per movie. I'll be kind of interacting in each scene, which will be really fun for everybody. I already booked my first movie. I'm really excited.
That's awesome. Are you able to tell anything about the movies, or are they kind of under wraps?
No, it's kind of under wraps. All I know is I'm going to use a lot of hot talent.
Well, speaking of hot and talent, talk about your shows tonight. If people have never seen a Lisa Ann show, Blush.
Well, there'll be a little bit of getting naked. A little bit of giving some fun stuff away and some dancing. Yes. And I'll be bringing out the Palin. I realize that no matter how many years go by, people still want me to do the Sarah Palin show.
Absolutely.
It doesn't die.
Look,
although Palin herself is less relevant than ever.
It does, it's kind of like, look, Kid Rock has been around for 20 years, but everybody still wants to hear Cowboy or Ball with the Ball. It doesn't matter.
True.
It doesn't matter how much country he puts out, and I'm a huge Kid Rock fan. That's why I use a reference. But you can look at anything that parodies something. Eventually the parody becomes a life of its own.
So true.
I mean, Weird Al Yankovic's made a living off of parodies, and he is his own novelty.
And he's actually, I just saw him in your local paper. He's coming here soon.
He's coming to West Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him like, wow, he's still on tour. I wonder what he looks like now.
You can never look. You'll never escape the Palin thing. But it's no longer. Oh, you're just the girl that gets naked, looks like Sarah Palin.
Right.
You're your own entity.
Right.
So it's okay.
It's a good bonus. She definitely did a lot for me, Tina Fey, and Julianne Moore. We're all very happy with Sarah
Absolutely.
Palin. Did you see Game Change?
No.
Oh, it was so good.
Worth it?
So worth it. Got to see it.
I haven't got to get the movies lately. I missed out a lot of movies.
Yeah, I wait until they are on the TV in the hotel, or I can watch them on Netflix.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a big on-demand person with
Yeah,
Comcast.
yeah.
So I don't. The theater drives me nuts. Other people's kids, I think, drive
People
me nuts.
annoy me in general. People annoy me in general. They're loud, they're talking, they're on their phone, their kids are there and they shouldn't be, all that stuff. And you're like, I'm paying top dollar to be annoyed. I'd rather watch it at home.
Man, I'm not gonna pay $12 to go.
12? It's only
Whatever
12 here?
it is.
It's
Wow.
18 in
I've
LA.
been picking matinees, I guess. when
Good for you.
I do.
So
go.
you've got a lot of great projects going on too.
Well, wrestling as always. Every Tuesday we have the wrestling show in Triple R Radio and writing for Bleacher Report still.
That's
Keeping
awesome.
Busy.
Good.
I was thrilled when I was able to work you in a wrestling column about a year ago. That was
That's awesome.
that I'll tell you what, combining you and talking about Paul Heyman and pro wrestling was like the perfect combination of grab everybody's
The
attention.
perfect storm.
And it gave me a reason to send pictures of you to Bleacher Report to put them up for
That's awesome.
the images we needed for the story.
Now you'll be at the Penguins game tonight.
I will. You'll be a blush like this whole time.
Yeah, I know. I'm so bummed. I'd love to go to the game. So I might be going to the Pirates game tomorrow. I'm going to try and get tickets today. It's such a great
You should
stadium.
have no problem doing that.
Yeah, I should have no problem, right? And hopefully it'll be like this out.
Are you a big hockey fan at all? Like I've never talked.
All right,
about
I've gone to a bunch of hockey games. Now I need to learn hockey, right? So
like fantasy hockey.
and fantasy hockey. So last year I have a friend who's a sports reporter in Florida, and we do sports weekends twice a year. So we find where there's going to be like a basketball, a hockey, and a football game all at the same weekend when we can work this out. So we end up going to a hockey game and a football game in Arizona, and he gave me the rules. The rules in hockey are much different than other sports.
Yeah.
How they advance.
The point system always
the
throws
point
people
system,
off.
totally. So
The fact that you can technically move up in the standing when you start a loss in the game.
then I bought, Hockey for Dummies, because those books always explain everything to everybody so simple. And that made me understand it. Now I would really have to focus on picking a team. I don't want to go with the Kings just because I'm LA, because now they're good and people will think I'm a bandwagon. We saw the Flyers when we were in Arizona. It was a good game.
You don't make any enemies here.
But I can't do any Philly teams. You know this.
Yeah.
I would probably go Penguins. You're not a Penguins fan.
I'm a Capitals fan. I have to kind of be
understand.
quiet about it around here, but yeah.
Yeah, but the Penguins are going to win tonight.
See, now, but I'm going to play devil's advocate. You say you don't want to pick the Kings because people say you're a bandwagon fan. I would say if you pick Pittsburgh, A, there's also a bandwagon option, and B, they might just say, oh, well, all these young, hot, rich players. I think Lisa Ann's, hooking up with a Penguin player.
This is true, and I'll tell you what, the Islanders are staying at my hotel, and there's a lot of hot players at that hotel right now. It's treacherous. We sat down for breakfast, and I realized there was like 5 tables, and I texted my dude that travels with me, because I didn't want to say anything out loud, so I texted him like, do you see? These are all these are totally the hockey players, and I'm like online, just like any other creeper would do. You go to the team's page and try and match faces with him, but athletes don't take good photos. You ever notice that? When they show a photo of a player like at a baseball game and you know that player and you're like, oh, that is a horrific photo. They're not like, there aren't guys that pose for photos. They're awkward in front of the camera a little bit.
Well, because especially hockey players particularly, hockey players are the funnest to deal with, but they're the easiest to deal with, but they're also, because of the most common people, they're not as media trained.
Well, also they're not as recognizable.
Right.
Because they're covered up so well and they can go out and live a regular life, so they're not used to having to be media trained.
Yeah, well, you can always usually point out a hockey player in an airport or in somewhere just because they have a certain kind of look. I told my mother, I always joke with my mom because her entire side of the family, brothers and everybody, they all played hockey and everything. And I played a little bit when I was younger, but I always said, I wish I could have grown up to be a hockey player. I'm like, they have just like the perfect, they're Joe Schmoes, they make decent enough money,
Yes.
and they stand out with a great look.
Yeah, and their physique is amazing. Skating, the combo of skating like that all the time. I mean, it's like total multitasking.
Have you ever ice skated?
I have.
Have you?
We ice skated a lot as kids.
Yeah?
I ice skated Rockefeller Center the last 2 Christmases in a row.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in New York City?
I grew up in Philly,
In Philly,
outside
that's
of
right.
Philly.
Right, okay.
But we used to go into the city a lot,
Stupid
and now
question.
where they do that, it's fun, but it's one of those things. It's like snowboarding. I want to snowboard, but I'm afraid to do it till I'm done dancing because I'm a great skier. And all
Yeah, if
my
you could
friends
ski,
that
you
have
could probably
fallen
snowboard.
snowboarding though have really gotten hurt.
Do you have? I don't think I've ever asked any of the ladies we've had come in here. Do the movie studios ever put limitations on what you guys can do outside of your life to protect your look and image and everything?
They don't as much, but our feature dance contracts do.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to like putting on weight, changing your hair color.
Because they want to change you from the advertisements and
Exactly.
everything. All right.
No one really wants a girl with a broken leg. I mean, that's pretty much common sense, right?
I don't know if you wheeled in here. I think I'd still be pretty turned on. It's okay.
Kind of like an arm and a sling. It's like, well, I'm gonna have to be ambidextrous and do everything with this side today, and
let the jokes go from there.
We'll make it work.
Lisa Ann in town tonight and tomorrow night at Blush. 11 and 1 showtimes.
11 and 1, yes.
11 and 1. Follow her on Twitter at Lisa Ann XXX.
The Real Lisa Ann is my
Lisa
Twitter,
Ann.
and the Real Lisa Ann XXX is my Instagram. Have you gotten into Instagram yet?
I have. I look at people's pictures. Like I saw.
I gotta follow you. I don't follow you yet.
I haven't signed up for Instagram.
Okay.
I will check people's when I saw
When
you
I
tweet
send
a
the
link.
link from
I will
Twitter.
click the link. I have yet to sign up for it. I'm like worried. It's like one more thing I have to then.
It's funny because when Instagram first happened, I was thinking maybe it'll go away. You know, it's one more thing to do. Now you
Right.
have Twitter.
That's me.
But you know what? They're all linked together. And what I've learned is I make sure that I treat them equally because not everybody has Instagram. And if you have a certain phone, the photos don't open up right on your Twitter when you Instagram them.
Right.
You know how that whole thing is.
And that's I don't know. And I'm still at that fear. I don't.
It's a commitment. There's so much social media that it can suck the life out of you. And if you start reading it, next thing you know, you're like, wasn't I supposed to be doing something?
Have you checked out Vine? Have you got on Vine?
Okay,
The
now
whole
that's the new
video
thing. Okay, I just played with it the other night at the Knicks game. That is pretty awesome.
It is. It's like the most random that and Tout are the two most random concepts, but yet there are a whole lot of.
And it's super simple because it's a short little video, and you just do it from your phone. So
You could have, you especially in your line of work could have a lot of fun creativity things with the 6 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. My arms are short. I'm not sure if I'll like the angle, and I'll be watching it, be like, no, I don't like that one.
You can't do the selfies really well.
Well, I try.
You can always do like the old MySpace mirror shot.
Yeah.
You know,
It's classic.
or if you're doing a guy, you gotta lift the abs up.
Yeah,
for the thing.
That's not good.
I never did that. I had no abs to show off.
And you knew better. It's called pride.
We'll just stick
it's
with,
called pride.
We'll just stick
okay?
with I had alcohol in my stomach, not abs.
Okay, that's fine.
Pride. If you want to give me pride points, that's fine.
I'm going to give you pride.
Okay. It is time for us to get out of here on Triple Live Radio, but make sure you go see Lisa Ann tonight or tomorrow. And if you come across some Penguins or Pirates tickets, you might want to hit her up. I'm sure she would be appreciative of it. Well, I guess we will definitely be listening for you on the radio waves for fantasy tips. And, of course, we'll see you back here in November for sure.
And I just got booked on Stern, so May 21st I'll be back on Stern. So I'll be talking about all of my directing. That's when I'm going to let out what I'm shooting and talk about all the good stuff.
Forget Crosby. Lisa Ann is your concern today. Pittsburgh, it is Triple Live Radio.